Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our slightly delayed content creators and vlogging live stream. Normally we do this on a Tuesday night, but we've pushed it back just a little bit so that we can talk about the news of the day, which is, of course, our new ZV-1 vlogging camera. And this evening, I'm your host, Sean Elwood, and I'm joined by some extremely talented vloggers who have been trialing the ZV-1 over the past week or two, and who have already published their impressions, but I'm not going to bury the lead. I'm going to introduce them now. Returning from we had her on once before, is Kim Dow. Hello, Kim.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
Nice to see you again.
Surviving the cold?
Yes, surviving this cold Sydney.
Loving your Snorlax hoodie. Very, very cool.
Thank
you. We also have joining us from the Gold Coast, Elly Awesome. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Sean? You have a beautiful voice on this microphone.
That is so sweet of you to say. Thank you very much. And also from the Brisbane Gold Coast area, we have Tyson, the naked traveler.
Hello. How are we all?
So
I also think you have a nice voice.
It's smooth. Oh, it's smooth.
It is, isn't it? And it's a nice little backdrop there too.
Oh, stunning.
Stop, you guys, please. Come on. So, guys, thanks for coming on stream tonight. We're here to sort of have a bit of a chat. I mean, obviously, I guess the product of the hour is the ZV-1, and we'll have a bit of a chat about that at some point. But I think, like, more interesting or equally interesting is I want to, I guess have a bit of a chat to you guys about the craft of vlogging. And, I guess, like, people think of it, or a lot of people think of it as something that's kind of a casual thing, but obviously you guys have taken it and elevated it to the level of something that is very much I don't know, a profession, at least a craft. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of talk a little bit about that. I guess maybe to get started, I'll just kick this one out there, and maybe someone can jump on in. But how did you guys get into vlogging in the first place? What was your inciting incident?
Oh, spicy.
Yeah,
I'm going to go first.
I like we should go in the order. Is it?
Okay, Kim, you're up first because you're at the top.
Okay. I got into vlogging. This was like 10 years ago. I went to Japan for the very first time, and I thought I would not go back anytime soon. So at the time, I was like, why don't I make a diary? So I filmed as much footage as I could, and then I just wanted to create like a memory of my trip. And that's just how I started. I uploaded them on YouTube, didn't really expect many people to watch. And then, yeah, it just kept going from there.
Yeah, right. And so did you get a bigger response when you uploaded them than you expected? Or like, what was the initial, like, was it something where you had to like scrounge and, try to grab viewers, or was it, did you just like kind of drop them up there and it happened?
No, it was slow. When I first uploaded my first 10 videos, it didn't do well at all. But then, like, because I was uploading so constantly, like, that's when it picked up. Yeah, so I think at the time I was doing like 4 videos a week, something crazy like that.
Yeah, right. Wow, that is actually really intense.
Yeah.
What about you, Tyson? How'd you get your start?
I was traveling, and it was just similar to Kim. I wanted to document what I was doing. So even if I wasn't editing every piece of content into a video, I found it a great memory bank to go back, and there's something about watching a video that takes you right back to that experience. You feel the cold or the smell or whatever you're experiencing at that moment. You don't always get that from a photo. So that was a big part of it. And, the main reason was just to get better at sharing all of these incredible experiences I was, going through and try to share them with the world.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, El?
That is also lovely and humble. Mine's a little bit different.
I want to be famous.
Yeah, I would say it sounds a little bit mine like I wanted to be famous, but I guess the reason I started is because I was watching a lot of YouTube in high school, probably in its very early years, in the first just 3 years of YouTube existing. And I just love sharing all these silly things with my mates. And I thought, man, how cool would it be to like just have fun and show people your life and get an audience out of that. And I even noticed a lot of people making it somewhat of a job in America. And it really fascinated me because my secret dream was to be a TV presenter. So I had no real route into how I would do that. And it's obviously a really competitive thing. And there aren't many jobs like that. So I kind of use YouTube as my own way to create my own show so I could be a presenter. So for me, it basically allowed me to practice presenting. And in turn, I became basically a videographer and editor by trade as well. And I've basically done all of it professionally now. So it's been a wild ride. I also started 10 years ago. And I've had a lot of different fun with it, trying to review and talk about all kinds of things.
It's funny. I started off with very similar ambitions in the TV side of things. And I found that was the best way that I could create my own opportunities. I didn't want to wait for opportunities to come to me. I thought, one, I can give these out to the world and kind of put that energy out there. But also, I'm sure you were the same. When you review the first few times you talk to a camera, it's horrible. Everyone kind of starts off like that. But, you know, you can look at it and you can improve and you can watch other people and see what they're doing. And, yeah, it was a great learning tool for me too. Yeah,
definitely. I think just making stuff makes you better because it's just like practicing. Sure. I definitely was a kid that wanted to be on camera. It's clear from home videos. But if you go back and look at my stuff, I was much quieter and softer spoken. So it's really cool to see how much things have changed and like with the style of the way I produce things as well. It's really cool.
Do you guys do a lot of takes? Like, are you?
Oh yeah.
Like, what's your shooting ratio?
That's a good question.
For me, it depends. I don't know about you guys. For the really organic stuff, I like to keep it simple and just do one, you know, whatever happened then. But if it's a specific intro that I really want to nail and make something creative, you can roll up 10 times easily.
Yeah.
100%. Just depends on what you're making. Definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're on the 10th run trying to pre-record this, so fingers crossed we'll smash it this time, guys.
We're in the same boat.
All right, so I guess just for everyone who's watching who's maybe not super conversant with vlogging and I guess the terminology, like what to you makes like a vlog? Like what's the core of a vlog as opposed to a video, you know, an edited video, a documentary, a live? Well, we'll just get onto live stream. That's a different thing. But like, Kim, what do you reckon? What makes a vlog?
To me, like vlogging, it's it depends on what sort of vlog you do first of all. But to me, it's like something that you film yourself, you edit yourself. So it's like everything, like the whole production is produced by yourself. And to me, well, for my vlogs, it's to show my personality, to show a bit of my life, to show what I get up to show my travels. So I guess that's what vlogging is to me. Just showcasing what I do.
Yeah.
It's much more raw, isn't it? And intimate with your audience. You really get to show them the real you. And I find, sorry, I don't mean to be cutting you off if you were just with produced productions or TV shows or whatever that might be, it's not that you're not being yourself, but you kind of have to be this magnified version of what they want often. And with vlogging, that's just the best thing, that you can speak so freely and just connect with. It's as though you're speaking with the person on the other end of the camera.
And the good thing is that, and the good thing is that you can control what goes on. Like, I mean, for TV, I don't know much about it, but you don't have any control on the editing, right? But then for vlogging, like you've got all the control.
Elly, have you ever vetoed an edit?
Like my whole video?
No. I mean, like in your time in TV land. I mean, did you ever get to be like, don't use that cut?
I did have a little bit of an opportunity to go into the edit room. It comes down to your producer. But when I was on TV at 10 doing Toaster TV morning cartoon show, I was actually writing a lot of my own scripts, and that was just sort of looked at by my producer as well. So I was coming up with ideas and doing that. So for me, I got some creative control. But yeah, it's true for most TV things. It's very like cut and dry, and there's a vision, and you have to follow that and be on script. But I was lucky; my job was a bit more loose. Sort of just get to be improv-y, so it's cool.
Very cool.
Did you find, Elly, with the TV kind of things, and it applies to other mediums of video, I guess, when you start off with a vlog, when you start off vlogging, you kind of understand the entire creative process. You understand the editing. You understand, you know, the entire scope of what goes into a production. So it does help
100%.
with whichever medium you are looking to progress into.
Oh, so much. When I got there, basically, like I didn't understand the exact technicalities of what they do with the particular programs that are used in a TV station. But having produced everything end to end myself, I really had the skills to create a TV show. When I rocked up, I just thought to myself, I've been doing this every day for 5 years straight, which was crazy to me because I thought, oh my gosh, like I've already done this, but now it's for a different platform and a different medium. And so I think if you're trying to get into any kind of media like this, creating your own content gives you so many different skills in media and entertainment. So it's beneficial in all ways.
The apprenticeship into all of it. Yeah,
it's your own apprenticeship, self-made.
So that's actually a really good segue into like what is it that makes a good vlog? Like obviously, you know, you started out just shooting what was interesting to you and stuff that you wanted to remember. Has it changed? Like, are you now shooting, you know, do you shoot to edit? Are you shooting stuff that you think is going to play well, or, you know, what's your philosophy? I'm gonna pick on Elly this time.
Yeah. No, that's good. Point fingers, do it. That's a good question. I think for me, I started out reviewing apps and tech, and that was what I was just completely obsessed with at the time. Believe it or not, 10 years ago, which is weird to say now for me in my like late 20s, touch screens were still kind of like, whoa, that's so cool. So I was downloading apps onto my iPod Touch and then one of the early iPhones, and I was just like, these are so sick. I want to show these games and stuff to my online peoples and my friends. And I was just obsessed with finding them, and then I loved talking about them. So that's how I started. And then I got obsessed with trying foods from all over the world. So I wanted to talk about that. And I think for me, like, it was a passion, and it always has been something I'm passionate to talk about. So a lot of people, I often comment that I'm really excited about what I'm talking about. So I guess to me, that does make a good vlog, being passionate about what you're doing. But there have definitely been points of my YouTube career where I have tried to chase a genre or a trending topic. I think you kind of have to do that to stay relevant. But, you know, for me, I just tried to sort of ebb and flow in that way rather than changing my content just to suit a trend. I added in little sprinklings of what was trending to keep boosting what I do, but I still tried to talk about what I was excited about. But a good vlog is something that's engaging, but there's so many niches that you could talk about anything and it's engaging. It just sort of depends how you put it together and how you present yourself on camera.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there with, like, it's the passion, isn't it? It's like you said, it could be anything. You could talk about anything and have any different format. If you're passionate about that topic, it comes through the camera and hits the audience. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things they often talk about in marketing is, like, if you are just like, if you're interested in the product, like if you care, if you like it, then you can market to you, like, you know what you want to do, right? Like if you just talk about the thing that interests you, then your target audience is yourself, and everything's easy because I know what I like. Yeah. I'm me. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's important too, because you're not setting yourself up for disappointment, and you're not turning yourself into someone that you're not. You know, you're staying true to yourself. I think it's a very important thing to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Oh, sorry, Cam, go for it.
No, because I think for me, when I first started, I was very shy, but I was pretending to be someone else. And when I watched through my old vlogs, I cringed. So they're not online anymore. I privated all of my videos. I was like, no, I just can't.
Damn.
I can't. Yeah. So yeah, just watching my older vlogs, like you can tell I was trying to be someone I wasn't, and that to me is like a bad vlog. So now I'm pretty raw in my videos. Like what you see is what you get in real life as well. So I think just being yourself and sticking to what you're passionate to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What it is. Yeah.
And what are your...
Sorry.
Go on.
The only other thing I was going to throw in, and this is more from a travel perspective, sometimes don't let the technical things get in the way of just a good story. So the majority of my content is out traveling, and sometimes if I'm so consumed with I need this drone shot and these time lapses and 4K and all this slow motion that I forget the most important thing, and I also don't enjoy that experience how I should be enjoying it.
Yeah, it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah. Really find that balance.
That's how I felt making my video on the ZV-1. I just thought I keep seeing so many people with these amazing equipment, and I know how to use a lot of it, but I just wanted to convey how I felt about it. And every time I thought about setting up a perfect shot, it really took away from the fun of it. And I just was more stressed about making it look pretty. So it definitely vlogging. I mean, vlogging, the definition of it is video blogging. And I think it started from people just talking about things they love, and it's grown from there. So it's really cool. Like you get to really just get into someone's world and find the other people that love stuff as much as you do.
This isn't on my list of questions, so I'm going to regret asking it later. But do any of you guys listen to podcasts?
A lot.
Oh, no, sorry.
Interesting. No, it's so because like just so much of what you guys have been saying about vlogging, it really also rings true for podcasting. There's the element of being like very personal, very much like it feels like an intimate channel to engage with people. Yeah, it just seems like
podcast, that's something I've been thinking about a lot, and not even from a career perspective. It doesn't really benefit what I'm doing in any way, but I enjoy that free-flowing conversation so much, and the unedited version of me and the people I'm interacting with. So yeah, I completely agree. Vlogging is kind of the closest video format of that.
I'm the same. Podcasts are alluring because you just get to do what you're doing now, but without having to think about it being perfect in the sense of editing it together. So even though you're not worried about the fancy shot, you still just get to tell that story without really taking away much from the thought of it in the moment. We should start one. That's what we should do.
All right, guys.
I think we're doing one now.
That's it. I'm stripping the audio out of this. We're posting it on Spotty tomorrow. Cool. Actually, no. So, all right. Second part of this question. Give me like what are your red flags? Like I guess looking back at stuff that you've recorded before or stuff that hasn't worked. Like what do you have like any common themes that just like really stick out to you as like, you know what, I don't know. What do you got? Tyson.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to what Kim said about being someone that I was. It's not that it wasn't me, but I would often project this magnified voice and personality, and it just didn't feel natural at the time. Even when I was doing it, it didn't feel natural. So that is a red. And when I say red flag, I mean that's a red flag for myself. Everyone has their own style, and you do you. But that's a big thing for me. Anything vlogging or behind the scenes, because like for me now, a lot of my vlogs are behind the scenes on bigger projects that I'm doing, and it's surprising how often they will use those raw, not set up shots and still put them into the big production, just because it's a very candid, real moment, and there's no long-term thought process to it. So yeah, just being as natural as possible and being yourself.
You're so positive, Tyson. You bring it back to the positive, but I want you to tear something down.
There is a definite balance between natural and not, though, isn't there? Because we're all being quite natural and trying to show our own personalities, but at the same time, it's curated. So it's so funny because I think if certain people were to ramble about something on YouTube, which I've seen, it can come across as boring, to be perfectly straight with you. And I think that's where there's a fine balance of sometimes you need to like write dot points down and plan out what you're going to say. And that means you can talk about it in a way where you're able to get the point across really easily, but say it kind of from the heart, I guess. And when people don't plan it out, if they tend to ramble, then that's where it kind of is a no-no and not the greatest vlog, because they are doing what I'm doing and they're just going on and on and on.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
And I'm sure you guys are the same. When you're like, if you're watching something, all it takes is a 3-second window of waffle and you can click out of it. Like, it doesn't take long sometimes for you to go, okay, this is going, come on, get to the point. Okay, I'm going to watch something else. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I think for my videos, it was like that for a while. I realized like it was just a lot of rambling, and I would keep it in there for some reason. I don't know. I felt like I was being myself, so I should keep all of that in, like, you know, like it should be in one whole video, because it's what makes the whole video me. But then I realized that people were telling me in the comments like, hey Kim, you made this video about, I don't know, skincare, and you're rambling on about, I don't know, some random trip you took, like you know, it's not what the video is about. It's not why I clicked on the video. And then I mean, now I write scripts, so now I have like dot points that I follow, so I don't ramble on. But yeah, that's exactly that as well.
Yeah, obviously that's why we tightly scripted this.
You have to learn to become a critical editor too, don't you? And that's something that takes time. For me especially, it took a lot of time, because I would, you know, you think everything's, not that everything's a good bit, but you can't decide which bits to remove.
Yeah, and especially the ZV-1 video. Oh man, I rambled so much on that. I had to cut down like, I think the video is 18 minutes, but originally it was like half an hour. I was like, no, I just need to cut out what is rambling.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a vlogging horror story they can share? Any times when a project went south?
God, I've had a lot of them. I just can't think of. I've had a lot of gone south moments.
I'm really just digging for muck here. Anything I can get.
I don't know.
Kim, just show us your desktop.
I've buried it deep down inside of my house. No,
that's hidden.
That's strictly green room.
Oh man.
All right, I'm going to come back on that one. You guys can have a think, and then I'm going to ask you again at the end of the stream.
It's not a horror story, but one thing I definitely learned when you're traveling, to be very conscious of other people's space. And when I first, and even people you're with, they could be friends that aren't into all of, you know, YouTube or videos or anything like that. And that's something that I had to kind of adjust to, because it is, it's not necessarily a horror story, but it can put you in some situations where, actually, I have had some situations where I've had big angry people pull machetes and different things.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. No, that is a good point. I think like we're so comfortable on camera now. I'm speaking for all of us, but for me especially, I'm so comfortable on camera. When I pull it out in front of people that aren't, I forget that they're not necessarily wanting to be on camera. So it's always good etiquette to check with people if you can. But sometimes when you're travel vlogging, you're like, I want to get that shot, and then maybe check it later or something. But
yeah, because I guess for me, I'm used to it, so that's why, like, because for me, with my husband, like, he's not a camera person, so I never vlog with him in it, because it's just not comfortable, which makes sense. And my friends aren't vloggers as well, so I never vlog with them in the video. So yeah, I'm kind of used to not including people in my videos. But when you're traveling, like, it's a different story, because you want to get the shot, but sometimes you just can't help it. But you have to remind yourself, like, not everyone wants to be on YouTube.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. It's nice to have that little bit of balance too, isn't it? I'm very very similar, where my friends, the majority of my very close friends are very private people, and it's good to have a just complete separate world away from everything else.
So important.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk a little bit about the ZV-1?
Of course.
Yeah.
You mean this?
Oh, there it is.
What did you guys think? What were you vlogging with before this?
Oh, good question. I use the RX 100 for a little bit.
Wow, you're really cutting my grass here, Tyson.
Yeah, same. I was using the RX 100 before, and then now I'm upgrading to this one.
Yeah.
ZV1.
Actually, guys, I'm gonna cut across you here, and for everyone who's on stream, I'm gonna play a little video, and then we can come back and talk.
Oh, okay.
Talk kit. All right, get ready. Here it comes.
So there's a video we all created.
Dang.
Thanks for your help working on that, guys.
No problem.
I'm sorry none of your shots made it in. It was a tight edit.
That was lit, man. That was lit.
So lit, fam. So yeah, tell me your experiences. Maybe Kim, do you want to jump in and give us?
Like a little
you're talking
spin,
about the ZV1 versus the RX that you've been using before.
I was using the RX 100 to vlog outdoors. So I mean, when I film at home, I do use like larger cameras. But when I'm out, of course, you don't want people to stare at you when you vlog. So I prefer to use smaller cameras. So yeah, I was using the RX 100 when I went out, and I've been using this for like about 2 years now. So it's been used pretty well. And yeah, compared to the RX 100, compared to the ZV1, the RX 100, there were a lot of things that were lacking, I felt. And I feel that the ZV1 just has everything that I need in a camera. So when going out, like especially the screen, flipping out like this, I love that. And mainly because I can where's my microphone? Hold on. I had a microphone somewhere. This one. You can put the microphone onto the hot shoe, which is great, and it's not covering the screen. What I had an issue with, not the RX 100, but the Alpha 6400. The screen flips up, and then the microphone just covers up the screen. So that was really annoying to deal with because you can't see half the screen. Something else I love about the RX, sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. Something else I loved about the ZV1 is the product, what's it called again? The product.
The grip, the GP1.
Do you mean the product showcase feature?
Yes, that
focus
one.
band.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Sean.
Disappointing.
Let me just get my notes here.
No, but like the focus is so fast, and especially for me because I make makeup videos, skincare videos. I'm always showing like different makeup products I'm using. Sometimes with the cameras I used to film at home, it's really slow, and you have to keep tapping on the screen to make sure it's in focus. With this one, you just literally have to put it in front of your face, and like it focuses so fast. So I love that. Yeah, I love the stabilization of it as well, because when I film, I usually just film handheld. I don't usually use a tripod, and I don't have the most stable hands, so my footage is very shaky most of the time. But yeah, this is great. It's just so smooth.
Yeah, brilliant. Tyson, you usually use like something a little bit more bigger, interchangeable lens.
Yeah, but it's funny. I was using the Mark 6 before this, the RX 100 Mark 6. Is that the 4 or the 6? 6. It's funny how frequently I still use this camera, even though I shoot with an A9, and for the majority of my bigger stuff, I'll pull the A9 out. But you know, when you're traveling, there's so many little moments that just happen, and if you can pull a camera out and capture it, it's you know, half of my footage usually comes from this. So the fact that we now have this one, and like you mentioned, the main thing for me that I loved is the fact that I can put a mic or a light. I often use lights if I'm shooting at nighttime or anything like that. And just the focus, it's such an improvement. It was a noticeable improvement that no matter where I moved the camera, everything was in focus, everything was sharp. I didn't play around too much with the bokeh setting. I should actually say too, I opened my camera yesterday. It was the first time I came to this party a little bit late.
You're a little late to the party.
Yeah, and with my video, I didn't really structure anything. I just like opened it and had an hour to film. So I'm going to actually go out and do something afterwards and really get to know it a bit better. But yeah, that was the two main things. The focus is just insane.
Yeah, and so I mean that's using I think a lot of the similar tech to the A9, which obviously you'd be used to. Obviously, like lots of differences between those cameras, but under the hood, there's a lot of DNA come over from that.
Yep.
How about you, Elly?
No, the only other thing I was going to say, that the articulated side screen, it was that's another huge thing for me, because often I'm shooting down low and you can really maneuver this around to whichever angle you kind of need to shoot it from. So that was another big feature.
Oh, I love that side flip. That is nice. I've been asking Sony for years, and you know what? I don't know if it was you or someone else at Sony, but I was discussing it with you guys years ago and saying, why won't Sony put a side flipping screen? And I think the reasoning was that the engineers said it's not the best idea because it's not as sturdy or something, which I was like, oh, Sony, they know what they're doing. They're just so good at engineering and design. So I just went, all right, I'll just deal with it. But I've been loving using the A6400, which Kim's right. The microphone does plug in front of the screen. So it's a little bit of a bummer there, but this is such a cool camera. So awesome. Then I tried the little RX0, which is sick. That's great for teeny tiny inconspicuous vlogging, but
you use that a lot, don't you?
This is so cool. Dang, you guys nailed it with this little thing. Anyway, here for this though, I have been an RX 100 vlogger as well for years now. Since they came out, I've been following it with you guys and trying them all out. And I really thought that was going to be my favorite compact camera forever. And I have been using the Mark V a lot, and I thought, Sony absolutely crushed it and it couldn't get any better. But I was floored, surprised, shocked when I tried this, because it's just even better in so many ways. The RX 100 is still excellent, but yeah, flip out your screen and then you have the most lightning fast autofocus I've ever used in a compact camera. And I will happily sell myself out for you, Sony, and say that, because it's true. I was shocked. No matter where I moved, it would pick me up. And even not using the product showcase, like, you've got face tracking, but not only that, you've got the eye tracking. So Sony just covers all bases with following your face. And then on that product showcase feature where you just hold things up to the lens and it will catch focus, that blew my mind. It is so fast and accurate. I was losing it. If you watch the video I made on Elly Awesome on YouTube, you'll see. Is
that with the Cornetto?
The Cornetto. I did it with the Cornetto to test it, and it caught that focus real good on that waffle cone, I tells you. But also this delightful thing, the dead cat. That you guys included. Love that. And man, it made a huge difference, and it works so well. I was actually really impressed by the audio, because I was using the RX 100 Mark V to film a lot of shots where I was using this camera, and I think it really outshone it in the quality of the footage and especially the audio. So for vlogging, I was like, damn, this is good.
John, could you briefly explain that technology, the microphone technology?
The mic?
Incredible. Yeah.
It's actually super cool. I wish I should have put a picture in here somewhere, but it's something we've been doing with some of the other mics as well. We've got a new mic called the ECM B1M. We have such a knack for like really catchy names, and I think that's a great one. Like basically it's a tech that we've had for a long time, ever since before the VG1 was another one that we used it in, but we have lots of little capsule mics, which are just simple, small microphones. They're not directional at all. They're what we call an omni design, which means that they'll accept audio coming from any direction equally. And then the camera does this really clever processing where it measures the delay between sound coming across the array. So you set up an array in a 3D space and like this is the front mic. So if this mic hears it first and the other ones hear it later, it's coming from in front. If it comes from the other direction, there's going to be a delay in the other direction. So the ZV-1's got 3 little mics in an array sitting on top of the camera. And by measuring the delay as sounds come in from different directions, you can have like you can drop some sounds, bring other sounds up in the mix, and get a super directional sound without having to have like a full-on shotgun mic, which is, great if you've got one. But yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
I honestly wondered how, because it's just this flat thing on top of the camera body.
Blew me away. And we were when we were filming, I had the A9 with a Rode Video Mic Pro in it, and sometimes you couldn't tell the difference between the audio. And that's probably another thing that I use these cameras for the most. Often I'll get the really nice, crisp B-roll shots with the A9, but then I'll quickly narrate something and use that for a VO track later. And it just to have that quality without having to carry around a big mic is it's a game changer.
I guess, I mean, you guys sort of talked about this a little bit already, but, in the scope of your kit, like where does ZV-1 fit? Like, obviously, Tyson, you've got your 9 as sort of, if you want to make it look special, then that's the one. Yep. But what's this sort of as a piece
This
of kit?
would be probably my most used camera. Simply because every activity that I do, whether I'm going for a hike, whether I'm going for a camping trip with my brother, or if I'm going to some foreign country to film something, it's always just sitting there in my pocket. I'm shooting behind the scenes on TV shows. I'm shooting little bits and pieces with the family. It's that's going to be essential. Then there'd be the A9 favorite lens, 16 to 35 G Master, 100 to 400. I absolutely love that lens. And I have a 2-time teleconverter. And then the RX0 for the more action shots. That's kind of the main kit without trying to take too much. And, a big thing for me, and I'm not sure if you guys have changed kind of as you continue to create and move different directions in your career, but I like to find as many experiences that feel very natural and, not like I'm only focused on creating content. And when you're only carrying a camera this size, it's very easy to do that. It's not intrusive. I can pull it out and, people around me don't get nervous. But I can still capture what I need to capture with specs that I can use it as I need to use it.
Kim, I know you sort of have like a real Swiss Army knife bag of different cameras. Where's this going to sit in your kit?
So for me, when I go out, I don't like carrying big bags. My bags are I don't have it here, but it's like a really small backpack. So this would fit perfectly inside. With my vlogging, I guess before everything happened, I would go outside and, I would always have a camera in my bag. It used to be just the RX100 and the RX0 as well, because they're both small, fits in my bag perfectly. If I see an opportunity to film, I would just take it out and film. And that's just how I vlogged back then. Obviously right now, because we're all staying home, things are a bit different. So for me, the ZV-1, I would actually think it's going to be my main vlogging camera, because it's just so easy to use. And that's what I always wanted in a vlogging camera, something really easy, something I can just turn on, press record, and that's my video. Whereas if I'm using like a larger camera, I feel like I have to set everything up. I need lighting set up. I need to set up the microphone, I have to put the lens in and make sure it's perfect. Whereas with the ZV-1, I can just pick it up anytime I feel like and just film. So it will be my main vlogging camera from now on, I think.
Great.
And it really is just ready to shoot straight out of the box, isn't it?
Yeah, the lighting is amazing on this. Yeah.
That's definitely something they put a lot of work into, was getting just the base picture profile that it comes with out of the box in a good place.
Yeah, it's great.
especially for skin tones, that sort of
The
stuff.
color science is a little bit different in this, isn't it?
Look, it's something we've been working on for a little while. You know, I know we came in for some criticism some years back, but you've seen it year over year with, you know, the 7 Mark III and then moving into the 9s. You know, I think the 9s really is where we absolutely got it nailed down. And then from there on, you know, every model that we've had since then has just sort of continued to have little tweaks and refinements. Yeah.
I wonder what the S3 will be like.
Stop.
Cut the feed. We got a question in the chat asking, do you reckon 24 millimeters is wide enough for vlogging?
Oh, I addressed this one in my vlog.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Oh, well, Kim, you're welcome to go first, but thank you for asking.
Yeah. Like for me, I feel like it's good enough. Like, I mean, I can just vlog with the camera, you know, like I don't have to extend my whole arm to get me in frame. I think it's good enough. Like if you want to film the background, I would just turn the camera around and not have me in the shot. So I don't think it's a big deal to me. I know a lot of people were saying that it's too, it's not wide enough to vlog with, but I mean, I've been testing this camera out for a while and it wasn't an issue for me at all. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And you shot on, you know, the RX 100 and so on as well, right? It's not,
I have.
not a big difference there.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Bit of a segue here, but going back to some stories, do you guys remember one of the first times a brand or company approached you to collaborate with vlogging? Do you guys have an early memory you'd care to share?
Mine is literally with you guys.
That doesn't count.
I know. Good times.
It was good times though.
Actually, I do remember. This is when I first started YouTube. Oh my gosh, this was in my second year, I think. So in 2012. Wow. So about eight years ago. So my first year on YouTube, I was mainly like focusing on Japan videos. And then I got approached by one of my favorite fashion brands in Japan to pretty much travel the world with them and promote the brands. I was like, what? And I was a very small YouTuber back then. I still am, but like, you know, back then, like it was something huge for me. It was like something that I never thought would happen. So they flew me to Japan, flew me to the US a couple of times, to Paris, and yeah, at the time I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, something I never expected to happen.
I just remembered mine.
Yeah.
Mine was for a free night in a hostel in Nicaragua. And
oh wow.
I think we got a few beers and we got to go volcano surfing the next day.
Oh,
what is volcano surfing?
Volcano surfing is surfing down a volcano. There's a volcano in Nicaragua. It's still active, and because it's so active, it has constant movement, so nothing grows on it. So you've just got this sheer cliff face that you can surf down stupidly, I guess.
Okay.
But it was at the time I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're giving me a room for free. That's like $25 for what? Just a little bit of content.
Yeah.
And then it kind of quickly progressed, and you know, that's a whole different conversation, speaking about all of that. But yeah, it started off very humble, I guess. As you need to.
Man, it's hazy for me, my first collaborations. I know I've done stuff with like some telco companies, like reviewing phones for them. But do you want first ones or do you want epic stories? Because I definitely got one or two from my middle of my career.
Elly, you can't dangle an epic story in front of me and expect me to say no.
Okay, so I'll do them quickly though. First one is, I think, 2015, when Netflix finally decided to launch in Australia after many years already being in the US. They reached out to me to come down to their launch party, where I got to be on the red carpet and interview everyone. And I met everyone pretty much from Orange is the New Black and many of their shows, which was insane. And yeah, I was just a little bean. I had no idea what I was doing. I hadn't done any TV stuff then. And that was like, I'm doing the red carpet thing. I'm a presenter now, everyone. Look out. And I also got a 2-year subscription to Netflix for free. That was dope. And then this is my creme de la creme, one of my favorite things that has ever happened to me as a YouTuber. I got a campaign with Fanta. And they basically said, have fun with Fanta and vlog it, like make a vlog, right?
Are you a Fanta drinker?
Yeah, I like Fanta. It's delicious.
Okay.
I don't endorse drinking anything sugary frequently, but I do partake, right? So I was like, yes, I can have a bit of fun in my free time. Anyway, somehow we got onto the idea of me getting to go to a water park all by myself, like take over the whole park. They flew me to Sydney's Wet and Wild, and I had the park to myself with 2 friends to do whatever I wanted for a whole day, and I just had to hold the can of Fanta. It was amazing.
That is pretty baller.
The video is on YouTube if you're curious. It's not as good as I say it because it was hard to capture because I was in the moment, but for me, whoa. Just, whoa, can't even deal with the hype. I'm just reliving it now.
I would say that if there is anyone watching, the possibilities of what video can open, like the opportunities video can create for you, it's something you should definitely invest your time in. And with YouTube, there's so many, you can teach yourself anything nowadays. There's nothing you can't learn. Yeah. So if it is something you're passionate about, just put the hours in because it really can open up a lot of doors.
Definitely. I learned everything that I needed to know to do YouTube on YouTube. It's really meta. Yeah. Here we are.
Snake eating its own tail. Any sort of red hot tips? I know this is kind of like the go-to question, but like, what's your number one tip for someone getting started?
For me, let's see. The number one tip I usually give to people when they ask me this question is don't think about the numbers when you start off, because it's very easy to look at the numbers and be like, oh, there's no point putting in effort. But if you don't continue, then how's it going to grow? So what I find is a lot of people, they upload one video, they're like, oh, it's not doing well, then they just quit. Don't quit. Don't look at the numbers. Just keep uploading it, but upload for the reason. Like you need to upload for the right reasons. You want to upload because you want to share content, and not because you want viewers, not because you want to make money. So that's huge. Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. But some businessy speak on top of that. For me, I went into it with some hard goals. So I was talking about things I was totally passionate about, but I was like, I'm gonna make this video this time, like once a week, and I'm forcing myself to do it as much as I can keep up with this schedule. And I did like my research on what I was going to talk about, and I planned and I was ready to go. And so I set myself like a 6-month sort of goal, which thinking back, I'm like, wow, that 17-year-old she's pretty good. I'm impressed with her. Good on you, young Elly. Just seriously, I was just like 1,000 subscribers in a few months. That's my goal. Let's go. And I had it all in my head, and I was like, how can I make that happen? So find what you're passionate about and then make a plan. But yeah, Kim, you're right. Don't get discouraged because it's a grind. And the most important part is when you're doing stuff and when you're making stuff, you are learning as you're going. So you're always learning and getting better. And the only way to go up is to start. So have fun, do it.
Very good.
I agree with all of that. I think if you want to improve, you just have to do it every single day. Even if you're not uploading, but just looking over what you're doing, editing, just reviewing it, just keep working on it every single day. And the same thing with the plan. Obviously, you have to have passion. Otherwise, you will burn yourself out, and it might not come across as authentic. But yeah, if you do have your goals set out and you can work back a plan, what do I need to achieve 1 year from now? What do I need to do every single month to get to 1 year from now? What do I need to do every single week to get to that month? There were so many things that I had to teach myself about speaking to the camera and the way I project myself. And, and they were all little weekly goals that I set myself. And, 3 years later, I got my first TV show from it. And then I set new goals of, okay, I want to be producing, I want to do this. And it all started with just a camera, and it still is focused around a camera. So yeah, just work at it. Just keep working at it.
Definitely. I feel like it's that easy. I feel like I've learned so much from trying to achieve something, which sounds like a silly cliche, but for example, like I'll look at a video and I go, how did they do that effect? Or like in the early days, it would be, how the heck do you green screen yourself onto something and change the background? That was like big news back 10 years ago. So I would look it up, then I would give it a go. It was shocking. And then I'd have to practice and try again and watch more and more tutorials. And so in it, wanting to achieve something, you have to go and try it. And then you just keep trying it over and over. And so anytime I'm editing, I'm like, how did they do that weird transition? I have to go practice it and figure it out until I nail it. And so by just wanting to create stuff and by making literally anything, you're going to improve as you go. So yeah, absolutely. Just make stuff and don't be hard on yourself, and just see what happens.
Make stuff every day. Do it.
Make all the time. Yeah. Go nuts.
All right, I think we're rounding the home stretch here, guys. I think we might have a couple of questions from the chat in a minute, but I've got one more question from me, and that is, as a vlogger, like, how do you keep positive when you get negative feedback?
Just block them.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good one.
Like, I mean, if you're just there to say something mean, like, I don't really need to see that. So the great thing about YouTube is that if you block someone, they can continue posting comments, but no one else can see it besides them. So they're talking to like a wall. So it's awesome.
Eat it.
You know, like what you're asking is relevant in the social media world too. Not just for creators. Anyone that posts something now, we are living with this kind of sense of what's everyone thinking. You just have to really learn to do what you're happy with and make yourself, like, whatever you're producing, whatever you're sharing, do it for you. And then who gives who cares what people think?
Well, I don't know how serious and deep we're getting on it, but for a couple seconds, I can definitely say that as a teenager, when I was starting, it definitely affected me deeply. And I thought I had a thick skin and I thought I could handle BS. But it definitely made me fearful and upset at times. So I think, firstly, it comes with practice, learning to just let it go, water off a duck's back. Secondly, a lot of platforms have ways you can block keywords that would be hurtful to you, which I would recommend putting in all the things. And you can absolutely block people. And I learned early on that blocking is probably the easiest way to get like negativity out of your life. So you don't have to see it. And taking breaks and switching off is really helpful. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, you got to do you. And now as a more mature adult, I realize that no matter what, someone will hate you for no reason. They'll have their reason, but really it's just bull. So you got to do you and keep your head tall, but obviously stay safe, stay happy. So look after yourself, but just get it, man. Just go. People weren't supporting me when I started. They were like, why are you talking to your camera, you weirdo, in your bedroom? And now it's everyone's bloody job, all right? So I got that from friends.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing. I mean, they weren't hating, but I got a lot of that flack of, geez, what are you doing? Talking to a camera? Why don't you go get a real job? There was
I got that a lot of that.
Yeah.
On a real job.
Yeah. To the negativity, that's much more serious.
Yeah, it's wild. It's a wild world.
I've got one nerdy question that's just for me, which is, does ZV-1 provide direct USB video out to allow the ZV-1 to be used directly as a webcam? As of right now, this minute, it does not. But if we look across at the US press release, there's some mention of it. We don't have anything to announce at this stage, but certainly can't rule it out.
Spicy.
Yeah.
So spicy.
I'd like that too. That sounds great.
We all. Guys, thank you all so much for coming on stream this evening. It's been a pleasure and a privilege.
Oh, bless. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it was lovely speaking with you all. And thank you, everyone who's been listening.
Thanks, to the audience. We see you.
So same. All right. Well, goodbye, everyone on the internet, and bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.